And what we did with question 11 is we brought up the dx to the other side. And now we have to do y equals x squared plus 2x dx. And what we're going to do to both sides is we're going to integrate both sides. Okay? What happens when you integrate 1 to y? What you get? Would everybody just be happy with y? Technically, there's a c there as well, isn't there? Happy with that? Now, what happens when we integrate x squared? What do we get? X cubed over 3. What happens when we integrate 2x? I think we all know it's x squared, don't we? Now, there's another number that I'm not familiar with. More than likely, it's not the same thing as c. More than likely, it's something different. Is it all right to call it k? Does that make sense to you guys? Does to call it k? Now, what happens if I move c over the other side? And now I have k minus c. Would you agree that k minus c are just two random numbers I don't know the value of? Would you agree with that? And therefore, pick another letter we haven't used yet. Pick something. M. Grand. M. Done. The two of them make it M. Okay. Now, what does it tell me at the start of the question? Y is 2 when x is 0. So what can we say here? Y is 2 when x is 0, was it? So that's 0, 0, and m, which is, what does m have to be now? M is 2. Have I effectively got y on its own now? If you look at the line above, is y in terms of x? It is. Done. So you guys try part 2. Cross multiply and try and figure it out. Now guys, for question 2, bring the dx up to the 3 minus x squared. Now integrate both sides. When you integrate 1 to y, you get y. Please remember there's a constant of integration called c. Integrate the other part and you get 3x minus 1/3 x cubed. You need another constant of integration, let's call it k for argument's sake. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring k and c over to the same side. So I'm going to bring c over towards k. I'm going to make k minus c. Because I don't know what number this is, I'm just going to call it a new letter. You can call it m or whatever you want to use. Whatever letter you want to use, doesn't matter. Okay. Now, what does it tell us? When y is 2, what's the x value? The x value is 3. Now, this means that y is 2. That's 9. Take away 9 plus m. This implies that m is actually 2. Implies that y on its own is 3x minus 1/3 x cubed plus 2. Okay. The curve for which the y dx equals 2x plus k, where k is a constant, is such that a tangent at the point 36 passes through the origin. Okay. Find the gradient of the tangent and hence determine the value of k. Now, isn't the y dx another fancy way of saying what? Slope. Would you all agree that the slope has to equal 2x plus k? That makes sense? The slope also has to equal what? The slope formula, which is 6 minus 0 all over 3 minus 0, which is a slope of 2. Okay, slope of 2. Okay, pass through the points. So we know the slope is 2. So is it safe to say which point is on the line? Which point is on the graph? 3, 6 or 0, 0? 3, 6 is actually on your curve, isn't it? And 0, 0 is just over here, not on your curve. Does that make sense? Now here's what I'm thinking. When the x value is 3, the slope is, anybody? 2. And I think that's what we're looking for here. So what am I going to put in here? 2 times 3 plus k is what? 2. K value of minus 4. Done. Hence find the equation of the curve. The equation of the curve means getting y on its own. That's what we did in the last question. Does anybody remember what to do next? What do I do with the dx? Swing it over to your side. Okay, now what do I do? Integrate both sides, yeah? I get y equals x squared minus 4x. Both constants would come together to form a constant, wouldn't they? So if you want, you can just allocate the constant to one side. That's okay. Remember, I was using m in the last two questions. So I can just put the c over here. Now, what point do we know is definitely on the circle, on the slope? So what does that mean? When x is 3, exactly. What does that mean? It means c is 9, which means the y value is this here. Okay,